So here we are, 6th of July, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan electric motor module. Quick update. I'm going to try and do these in little bits and splice them together instead of trying to remember everything all at the same time. So here we have, and I'll zoom in, 15.5. You can see the black mark. So the initial setup, sitting on top of the wood of the motor module, is pretty close to where it should have been. It's about 3 inches higher than it should have been, but it's actually pretty close to where it should have been. And now I have to come up with brackets that will actually keep it there. So since we started talking about brackets, this bracket goes around the motor. This goes underneath, this goes on top, bolts together, and it either bolts down to a bottom bracket or bolts up to a top bracket, or in our case it may do both. That is going to be held above on this little temporary ladder network because I got to get the wood out from underneath. I'm going to use these little pieces of ready rod to hold it up to this piece of wood, suspend it from this end. The other end, I'll get over there and show you. The other end here has a bracket, and I just put a bolt across, and we're going to get that with a piece of angle iron brought up to here, or perhaps I'm going to use a ready rod as well. I haven't really worked that out yet. But that's how it's going to be suspended on this side. When it's suspended on both sides, lift it up. We will remove the wood underneath this stuff, and then drop the motor the 3 or 4 inches that it needs to go in order to get the output shafts approximately where they should be, 15.5 inches from the back, and 5.5 inches to the center off the bottom. So with the help of a couple of hydraulic jacks and some threaded rod, we have the motor and the transmission suspended. They're not level, obviously. These ready rods were a little too short, but it's up in the air, so we can get rid of these 2x4s and bring the motor down to the level that it's supposed to be. So again, adjust. Okay, here is another view from the front. Down there, one of the things we've been trying to accomplish, that black mark is supposed to be the center of the shaft, and it's pretty close. The other side here is much more difficult to see. I can move it out of the way. There's the mark right there. Again, we're close enough. So the next step is to put blocks up on the sides of the module and get the axles to where they should be level. Then we'll be lowering the motor module, and the transmission down to where they are both level and the drive shafts are level. After a bit of a reality check, gravity involved, the motor's now on the floor. One of the lugs just narrowly missed being crushed. Gravity still works, motor still goes down. Anyway, I'm going to line it up where it's relatively supposed to be, get it sort of level, and then bring it up, and bring it up to level instead of down to level. So we're here. You can see a little mark that we're looking for center. It's not quite spot on, but it's close enough that I can make the brackets. And again, you can see that I'm not exactly spot on, but again, close enough to make the brackets. So things have changed a little bit. This bracket we are still going to support from the bottom going across and from the top. Not sure that we're going to use ready rod, but we'll come up with something that's adjustable. On this side, we're still going to have the vertical aluminum sections here, and then a flat plate going out to this hole and that hole. And I found another couple of bracket holes over here that are in the transmission. They look like they used to be support holes, or for support bolts. I'm not sure what to connect those to yet. Perhaps the battery rack that's going back there. I can attach a bracket to there as well. And there's several holes on this side, along the top, along the bottom that are beefy enough to take the bolt out, add a bracket, and then put it back together. I don't know how much support this is going to need, and I guess I won't until we actually put a little bit of a load on it. And that's not for today.